In this lesson, we're going to take a look at finalizing and selecting design options so that we can create a lot-specific Revit model and set of construction documents. So the first thing we're going to do is take a look at what we have to do to the design options. So in the Manage tab on the Design Options panel, we're going to select the Design Options tool, and then once I do that, it'll show me all the options that are in this Revit model. What I usually recommend is start with the most basic option and work up towards the hardest option. And I would classify the hardest option as items that change the most in the model. So, for example, if I'm looking down these, the elevation is going to be something major. The den, probably not too bad. The master bath is because it affects my foundation and my plumbing, and a lot of stuff goes on in the bath options. Your pantries, optional lighting, those are probably more basic options. So let's say we'll just go start at the bottom here, the hall shower tub. The shower is primary and the tub is the option. If for some reason this one is just sticking with the standard shower, I pick the option set and then I say accept primary. Now when I do that, Revit is going to give me a warning just telling me if I delete an option set, all the secondary options associated are going to be deleted. Okay, and this is where I throw caution to the wind. I'll say yes to that because Revit is not going to delete something right away. It's going to look at the model and then it's going to tell me this is what I'm about to delete. I don't care if it deletes a 3D view, the plumbing plan, hall bathtub option, that's okay to delete. Optional hall bath. So all of this really does say things that have to do with the hall bath. So I'm pretty confident that all these optional ones are okay to delete, so I'll go ahead and say delete. But I recommend always reading over these because sometime if there is an option in a view, it might want to delete the whole view and you actually need that view to create your lot. So I'll just leave it and not delete it. The laundry, the reason why there's a right and a left is so the washer is always on the left so we could toggle that on and off when we flip the model. So this is obvious. We're just going to go ahead and accept that as primary. And again, we're going to wait till that list pops up and just read it and make sure it's okay. See, this wants to delete the whole electrical plan. I'm going to remove that check mark because I don't want to lose my whole electrical plan. Um, Under cabinet lighting. Okay, if you want to accept one of the options, so let's say we want under cabinet lighting, then I come over here and say make primary. So that's going to go ahead and make that the primary option. Then once that's the primary option, I select under cabinet lighting and say accept the primary. I get my warning. It's going to go through and figure out what views were associated to the other option. And there was nothing really to worry about, so it automatically accepted it and everything went good. The optional lights, I'm going to go ahead and just accept that as primary. And it's going to tell me optional electrical plan. Well, I'm not going to worry about that view, so let's just go ahead and delete that. So you continue to do this on all of the design options until they're all made primary and finalized, and then there's no more options remaining. Then you have your finalized model. But if you're uncomfortable or not sure on a view that comes up that's going to be deleted, just uncheck it. You're better to be safe than sorry because you might finalize everything and then find that it deleted something that you needed. And at that point, you pretty much have to start over. You can't really undo all of this finalizing. So I'm just going to go ahead and pause this video and then I'm going to complete selecting my options. Okay, so now all of my design options have been selected and you can see that there is no longer any left. So the next thing that I would do is I would return back to my model and I selected a elevation B floor plan and I could see that this is finalized. So the next thing you want to do, certain things don't get deleted. Sheets don't get deleted. So you'd want to come through, and it's obvious I wouldn't need any of my option sheets, so I would come in here and select them, and I'd go ahead and delete them. Sometimes you may get a warning if there's a revision that's part of that sheet, and you might just have to make sure all of those, see it says the revision of this revision cloud has been issued. Deletion is prohibited. So you might have to go into your revisions when you first start to make a lot. So I'll go into additional settings, go into sheet issue revisions, and if I uncheck all of those when I'm creating a lot and just make sure the clouds and tags are turned off because that's from my base plan, then I can come in here and I can delete these optional pages because I've selected my options. I no longer need them. Okay, if I'm not doing a left-handed model, then I can go through and delete all of those. So after you finalize your options, there's going to be a couple remaining things that we're going to talk about. Number one, you can go through your browser and delete the sheets that you don't need, because that way they'll come off your cover sheet drawing index. If you want to go through your views and maybe delete some views that you don't need that didn't get deleted, you can clean that up a little bit if you want. But as long as your options are selected and the correct sheets remain, you will have your set of construction documents. It's all about turning this around as fast as you can. The next thing that has to be done, and we'll do that in a separate couple of lessons, is on the MEP side of things, the electrical panel schedule cannot be completed until we circuit up things that may have belonged to an option, because that's one thing Revit doesn't do. It doesn't allow you to create an electrical panel schedule that is based on options. It's only going to be based on that main model. So we have to clean that up a little bit. And then I just recommend looking at each sheet and see if you see anything out of place before we go ahead and publish.